Now, next up on the list, we got one of the top faces coming out the West Side neighborhood 90s. We got Fat Jahk, the grimy low.
LOL, sad face in them comments. I got a lot of skits, so the homies let me pop it. Your shit ain't doing numbers, but your ass keep dropping. You like a fish out of water on the floor when I pop. The beats a broad day. Bitch, I'm talking jet the holiday. Come outside, bring your pipe, you can die today. I know you heard about that skit, we are not for play. I got some niggas on the 6, but I'm from the beats a broad day. Bitch, I'm talking jet the holiday.
Now, Fat Jahk, somebody that I've spoke on previously and said that he's somebody that you cannot get involved unless you ready to get cracking, because he has done a lot of dissing over the years, man. We've seen this dude grow over the course, I'll say maybe 4 or 5 years. He's applied pressure with the music, and he's gotten views with the music. I'm surprised that the nigga hasn't took off a little bit more, but you know, niggas be going down, doing time, and should be derailing their music career. But he was accumulating views. But in them songs, man, like I said, a lot of dissing. Every blood hood, every Trey gang, anybody going against the 9-0s, he's dissing them. Now, he had that recent track, that Jet 2 Holiday. In that track, he said the homies let him diss because he got a lot of skits on his name. The thing is, we know the 9-0s, extremely active set, especially right now. A lot be going on with the 9-0s, especially earlier this year. I think it was around Memorial Day. We all know what got cracking. We're not going to speak on it again. We've talked about it multiple times. The 9-0s historically cracking and usually has some top-tier cripping coming out of Jesse Owens. Now, not only is Fat Jahk one of the top faces coming out the 90s, we know G-Money DT over there. Chico historically been over there. A lot of dudes have came out of the 9-0s, but Fat Jahk is somebody that we've seen over countless years patrolling the set, being in the set, looking like somebody that is a favorite homie in this set. We've seen him issuing DPs, just overall being in the mix. We've seen him with the 40s, seen him with the Coast, seen him with Main Street, seen him in the Hundreds. We know he was on that record with Day 3, aimed at the Swans. Like I said, it seemed like when somebody deploying Fat Jahk on their record or even his record, some dissing is going to be going on and some beef is going to be had. But overall, this is what the Crippin' looks like. This is what top tier Crippin' looks like. Now, I know that 9-0 Hood Day video just came out with DC Baby Draco. We seen all them niggas go down. Now, I know Fat Jahk was on that anklet and we seen him go down. Now, I think he's sitting down with no bail right now. He's still in the county. He hasn't got out. But right before that situation, he did apply pressure with some music. So y'all make sure y'all go run that up. Now, I believe that violation came from a previous 211 that he sat down for, which again, like I said, has derailed this shit. But this is somebody that I wouldn't mind seeing on platforms like No Jumper, Cam Capone, really boosting him out of this street shit and taking him to that next level as an entertainer. I don't know if he's ready to do that, but something we also seen Fat Jahk speak on recently is the situation that he's having currently behind the walls with Shotta Foe from 98 Main Street. Now, this threw me for a loop. You know, Shotta Foe is also somebody that I be paying attention to coming out the east side. He's also rapping, but we seen Fat Jahk kind of throw a jacket on his name, saying that he's not performing currently in the county. He said that Shotta Foe didn't want to run his phase, so he ended up getting off on a smoker. I guess to supplement the fact that he didn't get down with one of his enemies. But Fat Jahk also alluded to putting a pause on Shotta Foe himself and saying that he'll never do a song with Shotta Foe. Like I said, the 9-0s, the Main Streets, and the East Coast all intertwined with the music. But that's just a bad look, you know, if this is true. And, you know, honestly, nobody's coming out saying it's not. Like I said, one of the faces of the 9-0s for sure. And somebody, like I said, is representing this Crippin' right. We don't see no smut on his name, went down on his case, kept it solid, back functioning in the county, keeping it solid. Reputation clearly at an all-time high. His homies seem to trust his composure. He seems to have impact in his hood. We see a lot of young niggas around him. And like I said, a lot of these dudes from 9-0 we done seen over the last couple years really grow up and keep it solid over here by Jesse Owens. And like I said, with him proclaiming the skits, the activity we can assume is there. Especially with him always being in his section, being in his hood with his homies. This is what we want to see from the Young Life Crip. And this dude is still young. I believe he like 23. Still young dude out here, but this is how it's represented. Now, of course, we got to see how he moves if he continues this rap shit. Being in these interviews, we know how this shit get. This is where a lot of people mess up with saying too much in these rooms on these podcasts. If he can keep his composure with that, continue getting chilly, continue staying outside of jail, man, we can see Fat Jahk being some correct representation of the Crippin' in the city of LA. That's why we got to give Fat Jahk an A for his representation out here, man.